Hello, and today we're going to do something a little different. Today we're going to be talking about Van Buren, a Fallout role-playing game. Now before we discuss that, I want to bring up a little history for those that don't know. Now before Bethesda's Fallout 3, there was another Fallout 3, Interplay's Fallout 3, the same people that brought you Fallout 1 and 2, codenamed the Van Buren Project. And this is what the game would have looked like. There's a demo out, and you can download it and try it out if you want, but I must warn you, it was very buggy and it is prone to crash, so expect that. But the game never came out because Interplay sold the IP of Fallout to Bethesda, and you know the rest. Now a group of dedicated fans, led by a man named Hexer, is remaking Interplay's Fallout 3. And when I found this out, I was very excited, and I got in contact with Hexer. We exchanged emails, I asked him a couple questions, and he was very easy to talk to, and he had no problem answering the questions, and I'm very thankful for that. Now as far as the story goes, this is all I can say. You are a prisoner in this, the biggest Fallout game. Now before we move on, I just want to let you know that when this comes out, it will require pre-installed copies of Fallout 2 and Fallout Tactics. And throughout the video, you will be seeing screenshots of the game, some that you can already find on the internet, and some that were exclusively given to me by Hexer through email just for this video. And once again, thank you, Hexer. Now let's get on with the questions. Now the first question that I asked him was, what inspired him and his team to remake Fallout Van Buren and bring it back from the dead? And this was his response. Today's CRPGs can't hold my attention the way the older ones did. Because of that, I was losing interest in CRPGs and became frustrated with the fact that I might never play a game like Fallout 1 or 2 again in my life. So there I was, at the end of 2013, trying to find a solution. I asked myself a question. What CRPG do you want to play? One of the classics that has been around for decades? No. Something new, yet in the same vein as the classics. Yes, Van Buren, the cancelled Fallout 3 from Black Isle Studios. Since I have lots of experience with modding Fallout 2 and doing large projects of my own, privately and on my daily job, I was perfectly comfortable with the idea to do it on my own. It would take a long time, but I can do it. So I started and posted about it on the RPG Codex's forum. Soon, other fans started contacting me, expressing support and even joining me as writers, musicians, artists, etc. The team members all want the same thing, to make, play, and enjoy a classic Fallout game, one that is big, fun, and charming like the originals. And that was his response to my first question. Now I want to add something from personal experience, add something to that. For me, when Fallout 1 and 2 came out, when they first came out, I was too young to play them, and I didn't really experience them until maybe a year or two ago, and I fell in love with them. You know, I didn't care how old it was refreshing, and I enjoyed them a lot more than I enjoyed a good amount of modern games, and they have become some of my favorite games of all time, and I personally can't wait to play this. I have the utmost confidence in them that they will deliver on a classic Fallout experience. Now for question number 2. You are using original design documents, developer interviews, and forum posts as information to bring the original vision to life as close as you possibly can. Is that enough for a full game, or do you have to add original ideas of your own to flesh the game out? And for his response, yes, we have to rely on our own ideas and writing abilities in certain areas. We gathered plenty of information on the internet, but that wasn't enough. The main plot was loosely defined, while some locations and companions weren't written at all, merely mentioned. Changes to the game's famous special system were also incomplete, so we rolled up our sleeves and started filling those gaps in. We put some extra strain on ourselves by bringing back everything Black Isle Studios cut from the game, but we believe that's the only way to do it right. Now before we move on to the next question, I just want to bring something up for those of you that might be confused, because he was mentioning Black Isle Studios. Black Isle Studios was developing Project Van Buren, but it is a division of the parent company, Interplay Entertainment. So that's why it can be referred to as Interplay's Fallout 3. Now on to the next question. Now, I asked him a personal question. I wanted to know what was his favorite Fallout game and why. And I asked him to be spoiler free. So if it sounds a little shallow, don't worry. I just didn't want to give away anything for somebody that hasn't played any of the Fallout games yet. And he told me that his favorite game was Fallout 1 because of the atmosphere, the story, the world, and the music. So for those who didn't know, Hexer's favorite Fallout game is Fallout 1. Now on to the next question. Is there anyone from the original Fallout 3 Van Buren development team working or giving support to the project? His response: Chris Avallone helped us with our questions related to the main plot and central characters. We plan on reaching out to other developers when we finish the alpha version. If not with questions, then with information that Van Buren is happening after all, and they'll get a chance to play it. Now, for those that don't know who Chris Avallone is, he is an American video game designer and comic book writer who previously worked for Interplay Entertainment and currently works at Obsidian Entertainment. And as far as Fallout games go, he was a designer for Fallout 2 and a writer for Fallout New Vegas. Now on to my last question. Now, this is a question that I would have to ask, of course. Is it possible to give me a time frame of release, a percentage of how much you have gotten done? His response: we're currently assembling the alpha version, which is over 7 gigabytes in size. Most of the music is done. The art is about 80% done. Mapping is underway and we've finished about 40% of our maps. We are a little behind with dialogues lately, although I'm certain our dozen writers won't disappoint. Changes to special and scripting numerous quests are also underway, although I will first need to finish the new art and mapping before working on it full time with our other programmer. Voice acting and cinematics are last on our list of things to do, so we've only discussed them informatively, although we secured voice actors for the narrator and a few NPCs. With all this in mind, and considering our current pace of work, I don't see this game being released sooner than 2016. We want to make it right, and certainly not rushed and disappointing. Well, folks, that's all the questions that I asked. I hope you enjoyed the information and the screenshots. I want to thank Hexer for taking time out of his day to answer my questions, and I want to wish his team all the best of luck. Like I said before, I have all the confidence in the world that he and his team will deliver a truly original Fallout experience, and I wish him the best, and when the game comes out, I can't wait to cover it. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I have to say this again. Now, if you haven't played Fallout 1 or 2, then I highly recommend you play them. You see, in my opinion, looking up videos on them on YouTube and the internet isn't enough, because when I did that, I didn't see the big deal about the game until I played them, and then it was a different story. Now, I will leave links in the description for their page, their forums, and where to get in contact with them. Check them out, and keep up to date on their progress if you're interested. Support them. And once again, good luck to Hexer and his team. I can't wait to play it. And as always, everyone, have a great day.